Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing a trends video, which I'm very excited about. But before we get into that, just in case you guys happen to be new here, my name is Sarah. I am an artist. I'm the owner of Denim and Rain, where I sell cute little artsy fiber notions. Now, it is currently the year 2025. It is spring 2025. So that will kind of inform you as to where the trends are at. Before we dive in though, maybe telling you what I'm wearing might be a good idea, just in case, because, well, it is knit. This is my Tonight top by Lily Kate Makes, or Lily Kate France on Ravelry. It is knit out of Golden Hour Knitwear. It is a 50-50 cotton merino blend, and it is the colorway You Can Call Me Joe. I finished knitting this one up around autumn, I think last year, maybe October or November I finished this one, and I wear this all the time. It fits really nicely. I don't know, I just really like it, and we'll definitely be making more of these. As we get into all of the trends, I will be sharing photos with pattern names, if there are pattern names, here on the screen. We'll also try to have my Ravelry, the boards, you know, the things you save things to on Ravelry. I'll have a link to that. Just know these photos are purely just to show you the types of trends I am talking about, and are not necessarily endorsements of the patterns, me saying these are amazing. They're not necessarily size inclusive. They may not like the designers themselves. They are just photos to show the type of trends that are out there right now. One thing I feel like I've seen a lot lately is unique construction. People seem to be playing around with shapes and style of constructing items, not just simply a raglan or a round yoke or a drop shoulder. I feel like I'm seeing unique ways of forming the fabric to make a sweater. Some of these also might have just unique features to them, not just straight fabric, like this first one, which is Simple Me Blouse. I like the shape of this though. It's big, it's oversized, it reads to me almost like a cross between a blouse and a poncho sweater thing. It looks comfy and cozy. I would probably make mine with full length sleeves to be extra cozy, but the back of this sweater has this really cool pleat fold, which is unique, and I really like that. You have things like the center point Popover by Purl Soho, which is, I don't really understand how it's constructed, but it's got these cool lines going every which way. It has a hood, more on that later. It's cropped, and again, it's kind of a little bit of a cross between a poncho and a hoodie. The construction of it is really unique and very interesting, and I think probably a lot more fun to work up than just your typical top-down raglan, right? This Nubia sweater is actually one that I've kind of looked at playing around with. It's really unique the way that the shoulders continue down all the way through the sleeves. It's almost like a saddle shoulder type thing, but it seems like the rest of it is constructed all the way back and forth. I don't know. I don't particularly care so much for the bottom color work portion, but the way the body is constructed just seems really interesting, and it seems to fit the model designer very well. The For Amherst sweater is incredibly interesting, how it is worked up with the cables and the color work, and just the way it is not just your standard top down is really interesting. It's just a lot more interesting to look at than if it was just a regular color work or a regular cable sweater. It has so much going on, and I feel in not a busy and annoying way. I mean, this is a very, the colors they've chosen are very bold, but if it was some more neutral colors, I feel then it would really let the construction shine. But the uniqueness of this is very apparent. It is super cool. Then you have some construction that's a little bit more subtle in its design, like the Chantal sweater V-neck. I like that it's not your standard V, deep V, but it's not a round, it's almost like a V crew neck. I don't know. I find it very interesting and a little bit different. So it's not like as different and out there and maybe not as unique as the other ones, but it's unique enough to make you stop and go like, oh, that's different. I mean, at least when I look at it, maybe some of you are looking at it thinking, that's not unique. To me, it's unique. And it's not even like, you know, some of them that are like a higher V, like you have a deep V, which would maybe come down to like where your bra hits. And then you have like a more like modest V. And then this is again, more like a crew V neck. And I really like that. I think it's unique. The next trend is the neck slash Dicky. Before we get into the actual knitted pieces, can we just talk about the name for this garment piece, accessory, whatever it technically is? It's like almost like an accessory garment. Okay, Dicky, don't like that. And neck, well, it makes me think of a turkey. all I can picture when I hear the like term like knitted neck is all I can think of is a turkey and its long neck, like wearing a sweater. I don't know. Not a huge fan of the names for this particular accessory garment piece. I also am not an enormous fan of them in general. However, it seems to be trending. Whether that's here in the US, maybe not so much. I feel like some people have been making them here, but I feel like they're probably more common in like Scandi and European places than they are here. To name a few, I won't linger on it because again, I'm not a huge fan of it. We have ones like the Terrazzo neck by Petite Knit, pretty standard, classic looking. You have the Midland neck by Laura Penrose, and this one kind of falls in the category of maybe a little bit more unique in its construction, with it being kind of like knit garter sideways, which also, side tangent, her Midland cardigan has a unique construction, so that kind of fits in the other one, but it's an unofficial like mention, whatever. But yeah, it's both unique and it's falls into the category of being the trend neck Dicky thing, whatever. I need to stop going like this. This is annoying, isn't it? The Pelto collar. See, now that name I can get behind. Collar. Why don't we call it a collar? Right? I feel like that name fits it better and is a little less weird sounding. Anyways, I really like the texture on this one. I think it's a little bit more fun and interesting and could be really cute underneath like your coat, and rather than just like plain stockinette, or yeah, I just really like this one. Then you have the Gujo collar, and this one is like I think it's either a half fisherman's rib or a, oh, what's it called? Brioche? I'm not very familiar with the that technique because I've never tried it and don't really have a huge desire to try it. I have knit half fisherman's rib once and I did not enjoy it. So that's not a rabbit hole I've fallen down into, thankfully. But I really like the texture on it. It's really like chunky, cozy looking, which I feel like you would probably want for a collar neck Dicky. Is it just me? Or am I imagining this? But I swear I'm seeing ties everywhere. Ties to close the fronts of cardigan, the sides of vests, the fronts of vests, in bonnets. More on that to come. But I feel like I just see ties everywhere. Also, bows seem to be trending. I don't know. Again, maybe it's just me. We have the King Harvest vest, which is again like this really chunky rib looking one. Super cozy vibes, but these ties, nice, like they're not like too long, but they've got like nice little like long, like they look like little bows on the front. Not my vibe, but it's cute. It's cute, but not my vibe. But it, you know, it's cute. The Margaret tee. Now this one is extra, like I feel like extra girly, extra feminine. Not only does it have the cute little tie bows in the front, but it's got a little ruffle around the edge. We're just going extra, we're going all out, and I feel like this would be super cute in spring. So, you know, if you want to hop on a trend, maybe this one would be perfect for spring. Then you have the Top Sole by Mochi Knits, and this one is like vest tank top-ish vibes. They have it styled kind of like a tank top, nothing on underneath it, which is a bold bold move. I mean, for me anyways. I'm like all like, I'd be scared of it popping open and flashing the world. But I think it looks really cool. It's very like almost like high fashion, but I could see this over like a black t-shirt or a turtleneck, you know. It's kind of cute, not gonna lie. I'm not a huge fan of ties. That's not really my vibe, but it is pretty. I like this one. The next trend, well, let's see. Cables or lace? Why choose? Why not have both? It seems like I'm seeing a lot of the two things combined. You've got like cables with then a lace next to it, or lace integrated into a cable. I swear every other pattern from like Midland seems to have this combination. It's very like Japanese Stitch Bible-esque, I would say. I don't know, it's very interesting to look at. So you have like the Rosalind sweater or pullover by Midland. Got like the panels with like lace and cables. Again, Midland, you have the champagne pullover, again with the lace and the cables. It's very like light and flowy feeling. Now, if you like that vibe but want something a little more cozy, chunky, there is like the Mozart pullover. That one's super cute. I like the vibe of that one. Again, it feels cozy but has a little bit of lace in it and cables. Yeah, not bad. And then you have the Salty Days pullover by Veronica Lindbergh. And this one is almost like, it's got like the sections. So it's like lace and then cables and lace. Or yeah, it's got a little bit of everything happening in it, which is kind of interesting and unique. And, you know, falls into that trend of cables and lace combination. Did anybody say hood? Oh my goodness, I feel like if there is a trend coming in real hot in 2025 that everybody's jumping on, it's going to be the hood. I'm telling you, everybody was designing scarflets, now everybody's designing hoods and bonnets. I'm mainly going to focus on hoods because bonnets, I'm not really understanding. Is anybody really wearing bonnets here, like adults? I put bonnets on my daughter when she was a baby, so I just can't get past the idea of a bonnet being for a baby. I also don't think that's really a United States thing. It may again be more like Europe and Scandi, not really a here thing. So I'm not so sure about the bonnet trend. That's not really my vibe. But the hoods, that I can maybe get behind. I have a winter coat that has no hood, and well, I live in the Pacific Northwest where it can get kind of windy and a little rainy, so the idea of having like a scarf that I can like pull a hood up on, like that's not a bad idea. I can get behind this idea. Or one that's like literally just a hood. It's like kind of along the line of like a Dicky neck collar thing, but with a hood. No, I kind of like this idea. So since we were just talking about how this like scarflet thing kind of took off, well, you know, that scarflet that everybody loves to hate but loves to love, the Sophie scarf. Well, there is a Sophie hood by Petite Knit. Of course, it's a garter, it's got the triangle-y ends, but it's got a hood. I don't think I need to say anything more. We have the My Josie hood. This along kind of the same lines, but with ties. That ties thing, yeah, there's a little tie, but it like can wrap around, so it's like a scarf slash tie hood bonnet. It's kind of like all three things in one. Why not, right? We have the Dune hood, which is very much in line with that like Dicky that has like the front and the back, but with a hood. So if you like the idea of a neck or a Dicky, but you don't like necessarily a turtleneck, well, maybe this is more your vibe. It has a hood. I think my favorite though is this Harris hood. It's more, oh, what are they called? Like a cowl with a hood. This one I'm liking a lot. I honestly would maybe consider making this. I don't know. Am I crazy? Maybe. Did I ever think I'd knit something like this? No, not really. I think the thing I like too about the hoods versus the bonnet is the fact that it's like looser. I don't like the idea of something being tight against my head if it's not a beanie. It's like the tightness under here. No go. Like the idea of something being tight, I'd feel like I'm being choked. But a nice like loose hood with like a cowl or a scarf, that I can get behind. That sounds like comfy, cozy. So yeah, the hoods I think I can get on board with. This is a trend I think I like. Let's talk about my favorite trend. Oh my goodness, I love this trend. It is my favorite thing in the whole entire world. I wish I enjoyed knitting it because I would make all of them. It is the all over colorwork sweater. It is very 80s, 90s-esque. I have bought a sweater that I love that is all over colorwork. It is very 90s, but I love it. You know what's even better about this trend? It seems like most of them are drop shoulders or raglans. They're not round yoke. I don't really like round yoke, not only just because of the way it fits me, but I kind of honestly don't really like the look of them. Not always. There are a few that I'm like, oh, that's so freaking gorgeous, I want one. But for the most part, they're not my favorite look. I don't know why, but I love a raglan and a drop shoulder. Well, add all over colorwork, yes, please sign me up. Let us go ahead and talk about them. A lot of times it's simple all over colorwork, which I kind of like. It's a more modern take, I feel like, on the all over colorwork sweater. It's just not like bam, every single pattern you could possibly imagine thrown into one sweater. No, it's usually a little bit more cohesive, a little bit more subtle, a little more minimal, which I really like. Like the key sweater, it's just 2 colors. It's a very minimal amount of color work. It's almost more like stripes with a little bit of color work. So if you like a stripe, but you're like, want a little extra, you know, you could do something like that. You have the Inga sweater, which bold colors, love the colors. This is also the designer of the infamous porcelain sweater, which we all know and love. But this one, of course, is a little bit more all over and a little bit more bang. Look at me, check me out. I am an all over colorwork sweater. And of course, it's raglan, which is very, very nice. This sweater is like the sweater of my dreams. The colors are stunning. The pattern is gorgeous. It's a flower that I love. It is the iris sweater. Oh my goodness. Is it not stunning? It makes me want to drool. I swear every time this popped up in my Instagram feed, I was like, oh, look at that. It's just so impactful and so beautiful. Would I ever knit it? No, probably not, because colorwork and me, we don't get along very well, but I love to look at it. It is gorgeous. Now this one I would maybe actually knit because it seems pretty minimal on the actual color work end. It is the structure loop sweater by Other Loops. Again, very minimal on the color work, but it still has that like extraness to its stripes. Nothing though will beat those like 90s all over colorwork sweaters. They are fabulous. They are amazing, and anytime I go to a thrift store, I'm perusing the sweaters because I want all of those sweaters. That is it for the trends for what I'm seeing. Let me know what trends you might be seeing. If there are ones that I covered that you're like, I don't see those. What are you talking about? Or are there ones that are like, how could you possibly have missed this? This is a huge trend. Honorable mention, butter yellow. What's the deal with the butter yellow? Like, what is this? I mean, it's not really a knit trend, it's more of a color trend, but I'm seeing a lot of people knitting with this color trend. There's a butter knit along happening right now. What? That's crazy. I'm not a fan of butter yellow. It makes me think of my house growing up as a kid. Both the kitchen and the exterior of our house was butter yellow. Yeah, not a huge fan of the butter yellow thing, but you know, everybody's loving it and that's great for them. I will enjoy looking at all the people knitting with the butter yellow. Anyways, if there are trends that you're seeing that I may have missed, put it down in the comments below. Are any of the trends I mentioned ones you're a fan of? Are there any other like, heck to the no, I'd never knit that? Let's talk about it. That is it for today though. Thank you so much for joining me for this fun little, you know, what's going on in the knitting world as far as trends go video. Anyways, Thank you for joining. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe if you have not already, and we will see you in my next video. Bye.